The Aussie NFL Fantasy Show would like to acknowledge the traditional land owners and the leaders past, present and emerging of Ngunnawal, Ngambri and Darawal countries where we are working from today. This always was, and always will be, Aboriginal land.
This is the Aussie NFL Fantasy Show.
Because he's against Detroit, but he also might be clinically dead.
An injured him is still better than anything Zach Wilson's going to deliver because everybody hates him.
At this point, I'm just flogging you assholes on the scoreboard. I don't really care.
Aussie.
Oh, I don't have a message. There was no message from Matty. Oh, no, there is. Matty, get fucked. From Taylor. Oh, thanks, mate.
Yeah, fuck you guys.
NFL.
Can we not call him Brock? It just reminds me of Osweiler.
No one called him Big Cock Brock, even though he's like 8 foot tall and you know he's probably got a monster.
Fantasy.
You know what? Fuck it. I'm going to stack that bitch up. I'm going to Elijah Moore.
And I don't care. My heart wants what it wants, and it's Sam Darnold.
This is the Aussie NFL Fantasy Show.
Right on.
What was that, Rusty? It was Let's Country Broncos Ride.
I've rattled myself again.
Welcome to week 16 somehow of the Aussie NFL Fantasy Show. Now, if you've made it this far, one, you're in the semi-final, so big congrats, but it's no thanks to your high draft capital paying off on guys like Devontae Adams, who kind of disappeared, Jonathan Taylor, who's now dead, Mark Andrews, or even Stephon Diggs. I mean, I don't know. When you say that, Taylor, you made it to the Astros semi-final starting Stephon Diggs. You've lived to tell the tale. How are you, mate?
Pretty bloody good, Matty C. Pretty pumped about that comeback in Astro. I felt like I was in all sorts during that matchup. I even did my patent in throw the white flag and then basically tell Jackal he'd won. And then everything in that second slate of games, in the second half of them, everything went right for me. It was such a weird situation. I went to work. I was at the brewery just talking to my boss and stuff, and I just figured everything was going wrong. And then somehow I basically needed Jackal's defense, who he had for Arizona, and they were just getting sacks galore, sack lunch on Denver. I needed them to basically give up some points to because they were getting towards 20. And then all of a sudden, Denver just went bang, 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 3 touchdowns. I also had Godwin up against Evans, and Godwin was on about 2 points, and Evans was on 10.5 or 11 at one stage. And I needed Godwin to basically beat him. All of a sudden, Evans just went to shit, and Godwin ended up with 18 points. It all turned around. And there's someone else I had in that later game as well. I can't remember.
Eckler?
Oh,
Anyone?
Eckler, I thought was done. I thought he was done in the first drive. And then he kind of didn't really seem 100% himself even when he came back. But he got the touchdown on the goal line, and he sort of eked his way to 14 points, which was enough. Like, that's
more than
really
zero.
I needed him more than 1.8 or something, or whatever he was on at the time that he got injured. So it just kind of all turned around my direction in that second slate of games. It was a massive turnaround, and just generally for my whole season, I needed to win my last 2 games even to get in. So to win 3 in a row right now, it feels awesome.
You've been playing playoffs for a while there, Tay, to be honest. The playoffs for you started a few weeks back.
It's going to need 5 straight wins to get the title.
Manjot and I know nothing about playoffs in the Astros this year, mate.
Yeah,
it's been well documented that I may have fired Manjot from his position way back in about week 5. Adam Schefter breaking that news. It was president of football operations. It's tough when there's fuck all football happening in our operations. So sorry, mate. But I think the Western Wankers, as we know it, might also be over. We might actually be relegated and come back as a college team next year. We've been shooting the shit about some names on that, but I don't know. We'll come up with something there, like West Belconnen University, something like that.
I think we should just start off with some names. You know, as we have the page performers, like those random ass awards I hand out. I think we should have a show where we're just like, this week we'll be spitting out fantasy football team names for next year.
Yeah.
Just for memes. I don't even know. Probably be some off-season content. I think that's the way. Get us some off-season content. I think that's the easiest off-season content of all time. Getting Taylor to give us shit names again. Get us to have shit names again. But it all has to be like college-based, for example. Well,
we just got to sound amateur. That's it. Like this Western Wankers thing sounded fucking pro, and we looked pro until our team started on the field, and then we did not look pro.
Yeah, and we can't choose the Cornhuskers though. We're going up against Ryan's team, who's already in college. To be fair, the Cornhuskers, we're always going up against them, beating them. So technically, we're already like good at the college level. We're kind of like the Alabama in a way because we're beating Nebraska all the time. Sorry, Ryan.
Oh yeah, but Rutgers can beat Alabama. Rutgers can beat Nebraska. I mean,
man, also, unfortunately, no one beats Ryan next year because it's what's an odd year.
Yeah, true. In odd years, he gets a big stiffy and hits the playoffs, and there's nothing anyone can do about it.
Maybe Matt Rule will make sure that the Nebraska Cornhuskers come back to relevance and become national champions as well as the Cornhuskers win the Astro League. Who knows? Matt Rule might be the guy for them. Yeah,
Ryan is desperate to win one too. He's been in a couple of grand finals. His playoff record is something like 2-5 or something like that. He's desperate, mate.
He is. But look, man, I'm excited to just name teams, just name everything in off season. But we also do have a semi-final this week coming up in the content team. All three of us, actually. This is how you know we are Australia's #1 fantasy football podcast in a fantasy football league of Aussie NFL content creators. All three of us made the semi-finals, and we're guaranteed to have one finalist amongst us, maybe even two, depending on if Taylor makes it, which he probably should, but no jinxing, Taylor. Don't worry. No jinxing.
I've already been jinxed, mate. I've already lost my quarterback.
Yeah, he's already lost his beloved quarterback, Jalen Hurts. He's had to go out there. He's had to go hit the waiver wire, replace him. But look, it's tough out there, Taylor. I feel for you. But look,
it's so good.
Yeah, hey, for the right deal, I'd for the right coercement, I would release Trevor to you if you liked.
Oh, hang on.
Yeah, you're starting that.
Get your people in touch with my people, mate. We'll make it happen.
Yeah, look. Also, I have Hurts in an Indian Dynasty league, and that team is absolutely rocking. It's an IDP league and everything. Been telling you boys on the side about it.
Indian IDP league. I just think that's going to be about the most sensational set of words you can put next to each other in a sentence.
It's crazy, but our team always unlucky. We're scoring so high, but we're like 7-7. I think we have like the second best points for. We're in the semi-finals. We're going up against a 12-2 team in the semis. So we're kind of messed up without Hurts out there. It was tough. We drafted both Hurts and Trey Lance. This is a dynasty as well, by the way, guys. So we drafted Hurts, Trey Lance, and then we also invested heavily in a few boys like Pollard, ETN, Devontae, CeeDee Lamb. Like, this team is actually pretty stacked. Yeah. Don't know how we went 7-7 because we just had like absolutely the worst luck going against us with like points against. I think we had the worst or second worst points against us. Yeah, it was the worst. It was the worst because we got the poo emoji against us. Yeah, but we had the second most points for. So look, respectfully, we're going up against the top team in the league. So this is basically the grand final for us, I think. So we've got to win this one. So hopefully me and my boy Big Nash can win this one for the boys out there.
Come on, let's go.
Get the Pastry Performers another title, and hopefully I beat Matty this week as well in our semi-final.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out People's Dynasty team, finished 14-1. Has Jalen Hurts. So it feels great.
Oh yeah. One of my other teams, one of the other teams I had making the semifinals, the only other sleeper team I have making it, has both. It was an auto-drafted team that had like Burrow, Henry, Fournette, and then it had both Philly wide receivers, AJ Brown, Devonta Smith. So I had it auto-drafted. Because they drafted it in. So we had to organize the draft, right? And they put it right in the middle of whatever the hell my class was. And I was like, damn it, can't join, because I wasn't looking at the IG group chat or anything. So I was like, damn it, can't join the live draft. So I had it auto drafted. I was like, damn it. When I saw that AJ Brown and Devonta Smith were like both on my team, I was like, damn, I'm absolutely done. And
what are you
then
gonna do? Yeah.
I've just kept him in the same team. I have not touched that team. Except for their bye week, I haven't touched them. I've put them together. So in case one goes off or both goes off, then it's all good for me. But in Gardner Minshew, we trust this week. That's for sure.
Mate, and you can, coming from a guy who trusted Gardner for a while there and was not disappointed. Mate, you can trust him with everything. Just put your whole house on him.
3 or 4 weeks ago, never did I think that I was going to need so much out of Jared Goff. But please, my prince, bring it home.
Well, Goffrey, bring home the fortune.
Yeah, Goff. Yeah, let's go.
If in week 1 somebody told you, "Hey Tay, you're going to make this final, and you're going to have ridden, this really great quarterback who has this tremendous upside. You got him fairly cheap, and then you've just ridden him there like it's a spring carnival." And then when you get to the most important games, you're going to be saying, "Goff, my sweet prince, take me to the promised land."
I somehow ended up with a Goff tour stack in everywhere I'm still alive. I literally am going to be playing Tua and Goff in that dynasty league, and I've also got the decision in Astro between Tua and Goff. It's just funny how that's actually worked out.
That is, but that shows so you live your own advice and you follow it, because you've been talking Tua and Goff all season long. And I think, our teams probably do represent a lot about the advice that we give people, because we don't just say it and then go off and do other things because it's trendy to say. We give the advice and we're not shy using it. And again, like Manjot said, the proof's in the pudding, right? We're in a content league where everybody in there is a podcaster or a content creator who's an Australian analyst, and 3 or 4 in the semi-final are in this room right now. So, it does speak volumes.
It was almost 4 if you count Ian. We almost had the whole thing.
It's almost 4 if you count Ian. Next year, we're going to have to get Marky Mark into that league. We're going to have to get him into the IG group chat first. But after that, I'll try and convince the boys we can expand the league to 12 teams so we can get Marky Mark and someone else in there. Hopefully one of the other guys in the chat wants to join in after the tremendous success this season of our league. But look, I'm excited. I think we got a great group of boys. It was a very tight league as well. When you're looking at the top 6, I'm glad I put 6 teams into the playoffs. By the way, that was smart. That was very smart. I think 6 out of 10 making the playoffs. That sounds like some BS. But all the 6 were 8-6 or above. So everyone had a winning record in that league. They all deserved that. Anyone who had a winning record deserves a playoff spot in that league. So fair play. And look, Matty, he was the 6th seed. You're the last guy in, Matty, but you have made it to the semis. So I'm not going to lie. I don't know why Sleep also didn't reseed it so that Taylor would play you, because, Taylor's literally the 1st seed. You're the 6th seed. So it should have reseeded. Some reason it didn't do that. But
Destiny, mate. Destiny. That's why we were meant to go mano a mano.
Yeah.
Loser leaves the island, mate.
You had my number, Matty. You've won both our head-to-head matchups here. I've only probably beat you in 1 league this season at all. I think 1 matchup out of 4 or 5 in every single league. Yeah, you've had my number.
0-4 versus us.
Yeah, in that league, and I have 5 losses.
And he finished 9-5. That's amazing.
Yeah, so this shows that
smacked everyone else's ass.
It clearly shows that the boys.
And where he's next to opponents.
Maybe. But
I'm Taylor, piss off, mate. Come on.
Look, shout out to Frank, by the way, from the Fantasy Addicts, for being the only guy that can actually join the boys up here.
One guy can hang with us.
Yeah, but not going to take away from guys like Gridiron Guys, Ian, the other Fantasy Addicts boys. Who else was there? Kevin is not a podcaster, but he still deserves a shout out for joining our league.
Creator.
Yeah, he's a content creator now. He can create his own content. Look, we have all the boys assembled. We have a great team. Shout out to Gridiron Guys, by the way, for the
big shout out to Gridiron Guys
to our league last week. I heard your chat. I was wishing they gave us a bit more banter, a bit more stick, bit more roasting, to be fair. But
How did they when we're the three in the finals? How did they roast us?
Yeah, I thought they would, but
come on, guys, pick up your game.
Yeah. Also, shout out to Charlene for finally getting a win. He was like 0-14, and he finally got his W. So look, first year of content team. I'm
Charlene,
glad.
by the way.
Yeah.
He's put up. There was a week he played Taylor, and he put up like 153 points. It was good for third best score in the league, and it was not much between him and second. But he played Taylor, who dropped in like 190 piece. It was just so ridiculous.
Yeah,
I laughed because he put up
Charlene.
the second best score this week.
Yes.
And the toilet bowl
actually
had
good.
everyone, all the best scores basically last week were actually in the lower bracket.
Yeah, the toilet bowl where you have to. Yeah, the toilet bowl grand final this weekend too. So, it's one of those things where
Charliam is hot to take it out. That team has come together. All those first waiver picks has helped Charliam a lot.
Yeah, look, a few of his podcast mates have given him a lot of stick for absolutely sucking this year. But I think his team has been very hard done by.
Agreed.
Yeah, he's had to go through the hard yards. 0-14, he got his win. He wins when it counts, basically, in the playoffs. So, yeah, I think he might have a late season bid to. He might have a late season bid to the championship. I think week 18 we have Charlene against whoever wins the comp.
Oh shit!
There you go.
That'd be the way to go. Yeah, and we'll have the champion of champions.
Yeah, but I'm excited. The future content team league hopefully gets bigger and better next year. We have a few more of the boys.
Yeah.
Banter, have some crossovers, have this and that. Shout out to all the Aussie NFL content creators. Any of you are listening, you want to join in the league, send us some DMs as well, because 100%. There's still some open spots. We're trying to get Marky Mark in next year.
Yeah, I think it's a slam dunk 11th player. I don't think he would balk at that.
And then we got one more at-large bid for our content team.
And it's not like I'm going to give up my spot and team up with you, because I've seen what happens when we team up.
Yeah, we're not doing that again. That
was a nice experiment.
I think we're better by ourselves.
I'm relegating you to the guy who gets me coffee next year at Carabar University. Wankers Community College.
Make sure you piss in his coffee.
Yes. 100%. Well, I think without further ado, firstly, I'm just showing off Manjot's trophy behind me. A couple of weeks ago when he won starts of the week, and the race is pretty much over anyway. He's like, come on, give me my trophy. So it's my backdrop today. Let's go, he says. Give me that trophy soon.
Yes,
so I'm just giving him one last look at it, since it's now already on Taylor's mantelpiece.
Yeah, I sent a photo out of that with the Astro League trophy.
You did.
They're sitting perched right next to each other at the moment. My hope is that I can keep both.
They have never been in the same room at the same time, to my knowledge, either. So that's really cool.
It's a world record.
Yeah. How about that? World record for awesome at the same time as the Titans are having a world record for arse.
Oh, yeah. 2 cheeks and a butt crack.
And a nice solid crack right down. Yeah. Chasm, mate. It's ravenous in terms of ravenous? Ravine-like. Ravenous, I think, is to be very hungry.
Yeah.
Some people, I guess, are very hungry for ass. I don't know.
On that note,
this is why we're the best. Yeah.
This is you come for the fantasy analysis, you stay for the stupidity.
You stay for the ass cracks.
100%. Look, there's occasionally an ass crack sandwich for the pastries. You want to fire up the pastries, fellas? That's why we're here, isn't it? Come on.
They're
I'm trying to lose weight, mate.
They're so sweet and fresh.
Really?
Yeah. Thanks for calling pastries. Thanks for calling pastries. Pastries. I got all my pastries. Pastries. We get 'em while they hot. We get 'em while they hot. We get 'em while they hot. I got all my pastries and I got 'em while they hot.
All right. Let's stop sharing that. We're here for the pastries.
Yeah, not talk about the content team league. We're here for the real thing now, the patient performer. awards of the week. We always love these, and we even include some bonus awards from the marvelous mind of me. Now, actually, a lot of these are improvised, by the way, so that's why often I get the names very much stuffed up. But here we go. First off, got to start with the Niners and Seahawks because that was the first game of the week, the Thursday game. So look, Brock Purdy, he's got to get the coming in and doing your job Pastry Performer Award because I don't know where this kid came from. Iowa State, he came from there, but I don't know where he actually came from. You know what I'm saying?
Isn't it? The Cyclones?
Yeah, the Cyclones. Yeah, that kid will play for Iowa. He played for Iowa State. Bit awkward there in the locker room. Nah, not really. Don't worry. But look, the Cyclones, and Hawkeyes rivalry. I think it is the Hawkeyes for Iowa. Someone correct me on that.
No, it's true. We had a guy who used to be a punter for the Astros as a fourth backup punter for the Iowa Hawkeyes. Yeah, so they were the
Hawkeyes. There you go.
Favorite team of the Astros for a couple of years.
Yeah, and actually, did you know, Matty, that Brock Purdy's quarterback coach, like his throwing coach, actually used to play for the Astros too? His name's Will. I think Will. Shoot, it was on Hollywood John Rowe's Facebook page. I'll find that for you. But he did play for the Astros, like your Astros, definitely. I saw this.
My Astros.
Shout out to Hollywood John. Yeah, shout out to John Rowe, Hollywood, the Astros legend, of course. He set me up with this tidbit on his Facebook page. He posted it, and his actual quarterback coach used to play for the Astros. This is not Will Hewlett. So he was an Astros. He was their QB.
I do know that name.
He was a junior and a senior, and now he's one of the best quarterback coaches in the world. So yeah, he used to actually play for the Astros back in the day, and now he's Brock Purdy's throwing coach. So see, the legend all starts with the Astros. I think we all got to be on the Brock Purdy bandwagon, shouldn't we, Matty?
Well, I think what it is Brock Purdy is on the Astros bandwagon. I think you just got this whole thing backwards. What you've done is you got the cart, right? And you went, I'm going to shove this in front of the horse. And the horse can push it instead of pull it. It's like,
Yeah, but I did find that out after the last show. So look, he's got a bit of Astros magic in him. Hopefully he can get an Astro Super Bowl ring there, Will Hewlett. Even though he's not on the Niners coaching staff, I'm sure that Brock Purdy has a Super Bowl ring for him somewhere because that would be cool. That would be a cool moment for us, Astros and former Astros, not me, but you guys out there. It'll be cool for you guys to have that. Look,
I mean, he'll definitely get a Big Ten participation award ring, so we'll give him.
Yeah, give him one. We got to give a ring to an Astro for the first time. That would be an amazing moment. So hopefully we're riding this Brock Purdy train, apart from the Jaguars train for you, Matty, and the Titans train for Taylor. We've all got to be riding this Brock Purdy 49ers train. It's a Super Bowl championship, surely. Next one, we've got
Mitch Wisniewski Memorial Award.
Oh, we're not getting to those pastries yet, but we've got.
I'm just used to the order, man. I've been listening to the show for 14 weeks, 15 weeks.
Yeah, we got all the BS special pastries, the superlatives. So okay, Vikings Colts, easy one here. You know I'm gonna give Matt Ryan, right? The ultimate
shitties undies.
Yeah. Yeah, the ultimate choking hazard pastry performer award. You don't want to be eating these pastries because you'll choke just like Matt Ryan. He has the biggest choke in the NFC Championship game, the Super Bowl, in NFL history, and in an international game too. This guy is the master of choking. I don't know what is it with Matt Ryan. All we need is him to go to the AFC playoffs, AFC Championship game, and then choke there as well, just so he can have the full infinity gauntlet of choking, because I think that's all that's left for Matt Ryan to accomplish in his career is that infinity gauntlet of choking.
You don't want that brown substance that's in that pastry.
Yeah, you don't. You choke. You choke.
It's funny how our most coveted trophy is made out of brown as well. It's
Yeah, it's
bronze,
bronze.
okay?
It's bronze. It's bronze. It's bronze. Don't.
Sorry,
be
cousin
that
Michael.
thick,
Sorry,
mate. You know
cousin
this.
Michael.
We know it's bronze. Yeah.
Sean's it totally is. Poor Matty Ryan. God, so you get people in life who try to win like the entertainment big four is like the I got, isn't it? And this would be the equivalent of that for Matt Ryan, choking his ass off. Fantastic.
I laughed. I saw a stat that Frank Reich was the quarterback of the team that previously had the record. So not only did he lose his job because of the Colts also stole his record from him as well.
Yeah, the 92-93 playoffs, January 93. The Bills playing the Oilers. They were down 30. Yeah, they were down 35-3. They won 38-35 in overtime. There you go. Go the stats for you guys. Apparently 100,000 people at the Bills Stadium that day because everyone says they went into the stadium when the comeback was happening.
Of course they did.
Yeah, everyone left the stadium and they're losing. And then they heard on the radio that they were actually doing well. So they all turned around, went back to the stadium.
Doug Flutie was bringing them back.
Yeah. Nah, it's all good. It's all good. Frank Reich, owner of the previous award. Now he's lost it because his team that fired him just decided to do that. So yeah, ESPN helped me find that stat too. Yeah, Chris Bourbon, everything. That was good. Now, go skip the Browns and Ravens because that's such a shit game that I can't think of anything. Bills Dolphins. I'm gonna give this the snow globe pastry. Gonna have some ice to eat with this one. Probably snowball pastry as well for the snowballs that were thrown by Bills fans after the touchdowns and after Tyreek, missed a pass and everything and this whole delay. Yeah, definitely a few snowball pastries. Put some snowballs in your pastries this week in Buffalo because apparently that's how they like to eat their pastries out there nowadays, especially with the cold weather coming in. I think they want to save the stadium and make sure that the field's all good. So they're turning all the snowballs into pastries. That's just what I've heard from that's what I've heard from the pastries TM store owner in Buffalo. That's what I've just heard. That's what he's been sending me pictures of all week.
All right, man. Well, if it's coming from the source, who are we to argue?
Yeah, the source. If you get what I'm saying. Speaking of source, his team lost to the Lions this week. So I gotta give Jared Goff
segue.
Jared Goff just gets a pastry for being awesome for carrying Taylor into fantasy semifinals in the Astro League. I think Jared Goff, he was like the only quarterback that hasn't had a turnover in the last 6 weeks. So he deserves a pastry just for being great. Yeah, great consistency. I saw
write that down. That's amazing.
I saw a stat today. It was on CBS. I'll pull it up again just in case I got that wrong. But I'm pretty sure it was Goff or Trevor that's got this one. But no, it wasn't Trevor. It's not Trevor. So it was definitely Goff.
He's been good lately. Good.
Yeah, he's not that good that he's at Goff's level, though. Goff has been absolutely sensational. Last 6 weeks, no turnovers. So, look, Jared Goff, massive shout out to him for being just an absolute legend. I think for sure he's got to be up there as a good fantasy quarterback now. Yeah, it was Goff. He was the only quarterback to start each of the last 6 weeks and not have a single turnover. So he's on some sort of different level here, Jared Goff. Shout out to CBS Sports for that stat, by the way.
I think that all sounds right. I mean, gosh, how do you argue with it?
Yeah, exactly. Now, look, going to go straight to Texans and Chiefs. I'm going to say Texans, you're getting an award for just the best tank job you can do, the best masquerading of a tank, the best fooling us that you're not tanking award, whatever you want to put in there, because they're trying to say that we're not tanking. They're trying to play up to competition like the Cowboys and the Chiefs. But we all know at the end of the day that they were tanking. All of those close games, they've definitely deliberately been losing them. They sealed the number 1 pick and now they start playing well. Texans, there's something fishy about that. You guys are a lot better than you seem. You have a lot more talent than you Guys are showing it. So look, Texans, come on, man. Come on.
Mate, the Texans have been a joke of an NFL team this year. But yeah, this last 3 weeks, they've kind of shown a whole bunch of backbone they never had. They've been playing musical IRs with just putting guys on there. I think everyone's just had to have a turn. I don't think there was anyone actually hurt. I think they're all just like, right, it's your turn, mate. On you get your ticket number. Because, even guys like Stingley and that have been on there, and I'm not sure they've ever really been all that banged up. But I think they've just been making sure, right? And now that they've attained that one pick, then you can do what you want, I guess. So why not?
Yeah.
Why not? And who was expecting that game to go to overtime?
Yeah. It's crazy. Look, yeah, that game was crazy. The Chiefs still win the division. I'm going to give the Chiefs a "We Own the Division" award.
That's 7 in a row, by the way.
Yeah, it is. The Patriots have the record. They won the division like 11 in a row from 2009 to 2019. And even then, it was like 2003 to 2019. They owned their division when they had Tom Brady as quarterbacks.
Yeah,
that means obviously, 2008 was the one year they didn't win it, and that was because of a tiebreaker to the Dolphins. So Marky Mark, shout out to him there.
Shout out.
Only
Chad
team
Pennington.
Yeah, the Wildcat era Dolphins as well. That was a weird ass time when the Wildcat was actually good to use. Apparently, it was like the best offense, and then man, it all changed after that.
We've seen it a couple of times recently too, with the Wolves running the Wildcat in the local league, and our boy Pete Ryan out there at wide receiver, mate.
Yeah, that's some weird at times. I've played with Pete at wide receiver and tight end. Don't worry, Matty. I've seen that before too.
It's just different when it's 11 on 11 with helmets for
yeah
in the Capital Bowl.
Yeah, look, we trained him up well to do his job.
Man, he's been watching me run silky smooth routes for a long time.
Yeah, he has. Luckily, no targets though. I didn't count one target for Pete, so luckily for him, no targets. I mean, I'm not doubting his receiving skills. I've seen them before, and he can catch. But I know for him, not taking hits like he usually does, that must be good. They can have a few plays where he's on the field, but he's technically like resting. I think that's good. I think that's good for him. Unfortunately, couldn't come away with the win, but I've also got to give a Capital Bowl the Pastry performer. The entire Capital Bowl, every player, every coach, every administrator involved, the commentators, including Matty, myself, Michael, Miles, Ethan, everyone. We've got to give a Pastry performer award for the best Australian bowl game. That was by far the best Australian bowl game.
In every way. In every measurable way, it was better than everything else the other state put up. It's not a bias thing. It actually is true.
It's actually true. We actually put up the best show. We had the closest
most views.
Yeah, most
closest
views.
Game.
Yeah, we had the best commentators, respectfully to the other commentators. But me and Maddie, we put on a show, I reckon. I think that was the best performance we've ever had. And look, Miles, best producer. Ethan, best cameraman. Jay Irvin, of course, won the Page Performer of the game for that game-winning touchdown. If you guys haven't seen it, it's probably the best game of all time in any sort of football, because just the way it ended, just the way it was all produced at a local level, that was the best. That was definitely the best Australian bowl game we've seen of the year. So 100% check that out, by the way. Just wanted to give a quick shout out to that. Back onto the NFL though. Quick other ones. We're going to go Jaguars, Cowboys. Cowboys, we're going to give it the "How About It's Not Our Year" Page Performer Award, because it's not your year, guys. I'm sorry. I have to tell you this a million times. You're not going to win the Super Bowl. I'm sorry. We've seen this before. We'll see it again. You're not winning the Super Bowl.
Don't they get your clinched playoff spot, Pastry? Isn't that?
Yeah, all right, fair enough. They got the odd man out Pastry Performer Award.
What a dissatisfying way to clinch.
Yeah, they're the only team. There were 5 teams that clinched this week. Coming into the week as well, there's 5 teams that could have clinched. All 5 clinched, and the Cowboys were the only team that clinched while losing. So they definitely get an odd man out Pastry Performer Award for just whatever.
Yeah, if you eat a 40 burger, you shouldn't also be going to the playoffs on the same day. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, they definitely look like the 2017 Steelers conceding 40 points to Jaguars and getting eliminated in their first playoff game. I'm sure
I watch that game regularly, as you would expect.
Yeah, I reckon there's a bit more you do while watching that too. All right, I'm getting to the Talor territory there. Getting to the Talor territory there.
Yeah, stay out of my lane, bro.
Yeah,
Ouch,
I'm sorry,
that
Talor.
burns.
I'm sorry, Talor. That was too good of me to pass up there. I've learned
I
from
can't
the
even
best.
be mad. I'm just so proud of you.
Yeah. All right, I've got to go straight to Raiders Patriots as well. Go straight to Jacoby Myers getting the dumbass Patriot performer of the year, of the decade, of the century, of the all-time Patriot performer dumbass award. What the hell was that pass straight to Chandler Jones? I wasn't even going to Mac Jones. I was going to Chandler Jones, who put a Mac truck through Mac Jones and just went straight to the end zone. Come on, man. That was definitely the dumbass Patriot performer of the century of all time award because fuck, that was bad, man. Jacoby Myers, I don't know how he's still on the team, to be honest. I mean, he's a good receiver, he's a good player, but come on, man, he's got to actually do better. I'm sure. Come on, man. That will definitely be
man.
It was definitely on there. I did not watch Monday Night Countdown this week.
It would have been on there. Oh my god, it would have had to have been.
Be on there. I'll definitely.
Come on,
yeah.
Keyshawn, give us a come on, man.
It had to be like It had to be the first. It had to be the first and the last play on there too. They must have replayed like 5 times because
the whole segment they just played it over and over.
Yeah, the Raiders also got to give a shout out to the refs this week as well. Bit of a double pastry here for the referees in both the Raiders Patriots and Commanders Giants because man, how do you call that Keenan Cole catch in? His foot was clearly on the line. And then how many times did the refs screw over the Commanders in that Sunday night game? I don't understand. I don't understand how they did that. But man, that final drive, boy, the Commanders, they better be pissed off losing that sort of game. The game sort of like that. Any other super pastries, super quickly? Not really, except maybe the Chargers Titans. I'll give the Titans a pastry. The secondary actually did something good. And is that interceptions? I'll call that the craziest interception of all time pastry performer award going to that. The whole secondary for just whatever they were doing. That was just the volleyball shit. Usually you see that on like the punt coverages when you're trying to down it.
It was T20 cricket. We see that all the time over here in Australia. And I don't know if the Americans would get this because I saw that happen. I'm like, oh, that's a T20 move. And I don't know that anyone would get it. But us guys, we see this all the time, right?
Yeah, we see that on the punt coverages all the time too when they're trying to down the ball at the 1 and not let it roll out the end zone. So everyone starts at the 1, they jump into the end zone, pull the ball back, and then like down it at the 1. I think we see that like all the time nowadays. So this is definitely more common in the NFL, but yeah, it looked like the T20 cricket move. Shout out to the Titans. Didn't get the win, unfortunately, but
no. But they played that game hard in the end. I thought they were going to get pumped, and they hung in.
Yeah, they did well. I thought they were definitely going to get blown out too, but man, as someone who watched the full game, the Titans just hung in there with Malik Willis and everyone. So yeah. Surprise, pleasantly surprised.
I do like that after one drive of Malik Willis. They're like, we don't care if we kill Tannehill. He's just going back in. No matter if he dies.
Yeah.
It'd be better than Malik Willis out there.
Oh, boy.
And you got one for the Packers game as well? Come on. I've got one if you don't.
All right. That's probably like the blowout of the week because that's the only game. That was like the least close game of the week. It was the only game that finished with the 12 points a higher margin. So that was your blowout of the week.
Well, I got one because it was something happened in that game that had happened for everyone else all year that had not happened for the Rams. They had a tight end catch a touchdown. Every other team's had multiple as minimum touchdowns to tight ends, and Tyler Higbee broke the drought for the Rams. We've all picked him at some stage, I think, on starts of the week at some point too, and all left disappointed. And this week, none of us did, and he got the Rams' first tight end touchdown for the week. So there you go.
That's right.
A tight pastry.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one to finish it off. For the supporters, we got the actual Patient Performer Awards coming up right now.
I know who the rookie is.
Yeah, rookie. I went with Kevon Thibodeau this week.
No.
Not Brock.
I just
not
thought
Brock.
it'd be your boy. Your boy.
I wanted to go Brock this week as well. I was totally going in. I was like 100%. And then Kevon Thibodeau had a massive game of Sunday Night Football. 12 total tackles, a forced fumble, a touchdown. Yeah. He stopped Heineke on the one on that final drive. So look, Thibodeau had this massively great game for the Giants. So I couldn't give it to anyone but him. Might have a few more pastries coming up for him later. Now the Aussie Pastry performer, got to give it to Michael Dixon, who had like a 50 punting average against the Niners. He had 7 punts for 349 yards. Impressive performance from him.
It's a bad sign when the best thing that can happen in your team against the 49 is that your punter punts well.
Yeah.
It's the one part of the game they look good in.
Yeah, exactly. They look good. They look good with the punting, but apart from that, the defense just absolutely stopped
them. Yeah.
Speaking of defenders that stop people, man, the defensive patient performance of the week, Rayshawn Jenkins for the AFC. Your boy,
my boy.
Absolutely phenomenal game. He had 18 total tackles, 2 passes defended, 2 interceptions, and a game-winning touchdown against Dallas. Look, Rayshawn Jenkins is a special place in my heart because now I can laugh at all of my friends who go for the Dallas Cowboys, Jack. But look, I'm very happy to see that play. I was so happy. Noah Brown drops it. Rayshawn, he holds on to it. I thought he could have dropped that, but he had secure hands the whole way and just went all the way into the end zone, broke a tackle, the touchdown. Boy, Rayshawn Jenkins, incredible performance. Don't know where that came from. One of the best defensive games I've ever seen from anyone, to be honest. Now, my other defensive player of the week had to go to Kevon Thibodeau after that game. I thought that was good. I'm going to give it to him for the NFC. I think he did pretty well in that game. Those 12 total tackles, forced fumble, touchdown, and the stop of Heineke at the one, like I said earlier. Now, the offensive page performers. We've got a Jaguars sweep here, Matty. We got Trevor Lawrence back here again.
Really?
He's back again. He's got 27-42, 318 passing yards, 4 passing touchdowns, an interception, a fumble, but he led the Jaguars to a 17-point comeback win. Absolutely incredible. I've got to give it to Trevor. Hats off to him. My NFC offensive page performer, also in a comeback victory, Dalvin Cook. He had 95 receiving yards, 95 rushing yards, perfectly balanced as all things should be. And the touchdown, of course, in the receiving game, the 64-yarder catch and run. Absolutely incredible.
He gave one Taylor Goodall a huge erection when he had that touchdown as well.
Hey, yeah. Yeah, I don't think many people couldn't have resisted, to be honest.
Yeah, things were getting sturdy.
Yeah, to be honest.
Just quickly, so I'm in the league, and it was the last week of the regular season in that league because we stupidly go to week 18 in that league. Don't get me started. But I needed to win to get in.
Should be illegal.
I needed to win. This is how close the playoffs were. Right, I needed to win to get in. And I had Kirk Cousins, and that play was worth like 15 points or something because in that league, if you get a play over 40 yards and it's a touchdown, you basically get a second touchdown. It's like 5.5 points or something. It works out to be. So you basically get 2 touchdowns for one. So Kirk Cousins ended up on like 54 points or something in that league. It was absolutely insane.
League.
I ended up putting up just under 200 and ends up getting a bye. That's how close it was in the playoffs. I needed to win to get in and then ended up with the bye.
Bloody hell. That is tight.
Yeah.
Tighter than tight end.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy what happens. But in these sort of fantasy leagues, look, now the fantasy page performer, speaking of fantasy, I've got to give it to Zay Jones. Firstly, shout out to him for being my content team league team. Absolutely incredible. He's just been great And look, my team, we suffered a loss this week with Tyler Lockett going down, but Zay Jones is going to fit in perfectly into that lineup. Jeff Wilson Jr. also went down. I would probably, if I was actually like playing this week, I would have replaced Jeff Wilson Jr. with Zay Jones because man, Zay Jones was absolutely incredible. Don't be putting up the LeCap memes, please, because I would have actually replaced him with Zay Jones because it's probably the best.
You've been a believer. You've been a believer in
I
Zay
have.
Jones. You took him in starts of the week last week as well, not the one we just played the week before.
I
As
wish
part
I
of your
took him this week.
73-point game. So,
Yeah.
but you can't tell me that you wouldn't have done that because I know you would have. You can't send the LeCat memes. You can't do it, I'm afraid. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Hashtag burn. Hashtag Manjot rules.
Yeah, I feel like he's just absolutely demolished his projections every single week recently. He's had a 27.5 in week 12. In week 13, he had a 3.6. But then the last 2 weeks, he's had a 27.1 against Tennessee. And this week, to win the Fantasy Page Performer of the Week award, he had a 34.9 against Dallas. Absolutely incredible. He was rocking there in that game. 3 touchdowns in the receiving game. What was it? 6 catches as well
Only
for
6 catches.
109. Incredible
It's
performance.
probably low average for a wide receiver against Tennessee.
Yeah,
Ask Christian Kirk.
Yeah, what's his sleeper projection this week against the Jets? It's an 8.63. Oh no.
Taking the over. Smash the over.
Smash. He had an 8.56 projection against Dallas. So look, his projection
Not facing Sauce, he'll be fine. If he was facing Sauce, you'd be worried.
Yeah, he had a 0.07 increase in his projection week by week because of that one 34-point game. Boy, the disrespect that sleeper you're showing to my boy Zay Jones. You guys got to improve his projection because he's been absolutely rocking 100%. So,
at Sleeper Fantasy Football on everything, by the way. Just at them. Just at them.
Sleeper.
Tell them the shit.
At Play
The
Sleeper
Aussie guys
on
said their
Instagram.
shit.
Weak ass projections, but hey, look, Sleeper, shout out to you for creating a great platform for us all to play on. Finally, the big one, Matty.
Here we go.
The Page Performer of the Week award. And it goes to Rayshawn Jenkins for having the best sort of game you could have as a defender. 18 tackles as a safety. Can you tell me, can you get any better than that? No, you can't. That's just incredible. One of the best games ever I've ever seen from a defender. The 2 interceptions, if you're bearing the Cowboys as well, incredible. And it's red eye on a defensive Page Performer.
Yeah. I don't think it's happened all year. It's almost always been an offensive player, hasn't it?
Yeah, almost always. I think I've had like 1 or 2 before this, but definitely Rayshawn deserved it this week. That I can say for sure. I think the Jaguars, look, they're gonna have a good time. They're gonna have a lot of pastries going to Duval country as well. Let me run through this. So they had the defensive Page Performer, the offensive, they had the fantasy, and they had the Page Performer of the week. All I needed to do was find a rookie and have to give one to Gotsis as well. I had to give pastries to both Gotsis and a rookie on the Jags somehow, some way to have like the full Jaguars sweep.
I mean, wasn't Rayshawn also the NFC Defensive Player of the Week?
Yeah, maybe his game did carry over a little bit into the NFC. There you go.
The thing that is, I think, a little shocking to me is that Trevor has won back-to-back offensive pastry performance. And I don't know, like he's got a pretty big mansion in Jacksonville, but I'm not sure that he's just ready to handle all this pastry.
I don't think he's ready either. It's not going to happen. I'm sorry, but it's too hard for Trevor, for all the Jacksonville boys. I think our Duval County. There you go.
Let's ride.
Duval County. They're all got their pastry shop there. The pastries TM
Yep,
shop
the
is
franchise over there.
It's going to be working overdrive, making all these pastries for all of you guys out there. So look, shout out to them for doing absolutely everything they can. I think, they deserve a lot of credit. And yeah, it's sensational what Rayshawn Jenkins has done, getting the double pastries this week. And I'm very excited for the future of the Jaguars franchise as well. It'll be great. It'll be great to watch, Matty.
Right. Defensive player of the year over there too, and you're wearing his jersey, Rayshawn Jenkins. So there you go.
Oh.
Look at that. Thanks for the support, man. Easily the funnest team in the league for people to have as a second team because, who's got any skin in the game? If they fall into a shit heap tomorrow, about 6 people care, which I'm one of them. But we've been really used to it too. We've had more top 5 picks in the last 20 years than any other franchise. So it's just kind of fun when we start winning games. It's easy to sort of find ourselves with a whole bunch of people sitting down next to us cheering, song going, hey, this is a bit of fun. And it was the case back in 2017 with the Bortles year as well. So, mate, come and sit down next to me, cheer for us while we're winning. The second we start losing, you can run away again. It's fine. But I just kind of love that people are getting behind the old Jags. I love it.
Yeah, I'm loving it too, man.
Manjot is done with some pastries. Man, it's been a big week of pastries. The other shows this week, we've got Dr. Good Call coming through. Not Taylor, Dr. Good Call coming through. And then, of course, the torture of fantasy games. I've already alerted the boys here that the fantasy games this week are just gonna be like putting them through the ringer. And then we've got starts of the week, which I've already given the guys their starting draft spots too. So it's gonna be a great week of shows, Tay.
Can't wait, Matty C. Just gonna be absolute greatness from this #1 fantasy podcast. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Find us everywhere. Of course, we're at Aussie NFL Fantasy on all of the social media and stuff. Just through the LinkedIn is the best way to get it all. Through the Linktree, and that's Linktree/Aussie NFL Fantasy. And then you can also find Manjot and the Pastry Press. Where do we find you, Manjot?
Pastry Press NFL on Instagram. Pretty much that's where it is. I know there's like a Facebook page and all of that, but it's mainly the Instagram. Guys, follow the Instagram. You'll see everything because it'll be great.
You can also find some of our brother podcasts too, like Marky Mark, who we've brought up today with the No Huddle podcast. But we've also brought up Ian from G'day Gridiron. You can find them both also through that link tree, but you can find G'day Gridiron on the Instagram at G'day Gridiron. And you can also find them on Facebook with a page there too. Also on Spotify and on Apple Podcasts. But then Marky Mark with the No Huddle podcast. Of course, he's No Huddle podcast. No Huddle. Yeah, he's No Huddle podcast. Glad I wrote that down. No Huddle Dynasty.
There you go.
No Huddle Dynasty.
No Huddle Dynasty podcast because he's a Dynasty fantasy football player.
Yeah, and he is going to be covering, we're going to start to wrap things up for the redraft season soon. Marky Mark goes into full flight because through that off season for us who play redraft, us who play Dynasty never stop. And Marky Mark is the greatest mind on the island for that. I imagine you'll see all of us go through his show at some point through the off season too. So we are all up to our necks in Dynasty football too. Next show of the week, let's get ready to bring in the Dr. Good Call segment. It's one of my favorite of the week because Tay sticks his neck right out and we see whether it gets clobbered or not.
Yeah, I normally cop a lot of shit.
Can't wait. All right, let's fire it up.
Sorry, Dr. Good Call does.
Dr. Good Call does, not Tay. He does all the he does all the promotion of it though.
This is the Aussie NFL Fantasy Show.
And they just went in, I don't know, put up 40 fucking points, and then none of it went to basically anyone. It didn't make any sense.
It's okay, so I did the math wrong there.
Oh, you definitely weren't wrong. I was just trying to work out what it had anything to do with TJ Moore.
Aussie.
Baker sucks pure ass. Well, he's so bad.
I think it's Baker, to be honest. That's the problem.
NFL.
One should have been a Hall of Fame if he didn't get fucked up.
You know, I'll take Matty C's poker.
Fantasy.
To the Colts' credit, they've got great fans who send out death threats to people because they said that their comment didn't age well.
He had a photo, I'm assuming it was his kid. Looks like he was from Fraggle Rock.
This is the Aussie NFL Fantasy Show.
I hope he doesn't listen to the rest of the fucking podcast. He will lose it even more.
I'm not defending AV or Le'Veon. They're both shitheads.